and rarely even use the term when a patient dies. Families see death as their loved one losing a battle, and so they empower the disease by focusing on the enemy and make their family member feel guilty for being a loser. Most patients die in the hospital at night when the doctors are not there to interfere with the process and their family is absent, so they do not feel guilty for leaving. Remember, we have a great deal to say about when we die, so do not feel guilty if your beloved dies when you are not present. I have seen this with my parents, patients, and even family pets. My father had no problem sharing his last minutes with our family, while I knew my mother and some others would not die when their loved ones were in the room with them. What we need to be taught is how to help people to live between office visits and die when they are ready to leave their bodies. I have found when people have support and love, dying is not as hard to do. My father died laughing with his family by his side, listening to stories about his life. We left his hospital room with no fear of death and free to express our sadness, but with no guilt about feeling joyful. We also forget that if we attend funerals and are present when someone dies, we can be healed by the family who appreciates our care and love. I know from experience. When we focus on avoiding death, our lives become doomed to failure. I always recommend the movie Harold and Maude as therapy. In it, Ruth Gordon plays an 80-year-old who is into life and meets a young man who is into death. At one point, the young actor says, "I decided I enjoyed being dead." His mother gives him a car as a gift, and he turns it into a hearse. The last scene shows the young man's hearse going over a cliff after the character played by Ruth Gordon dies. You assume he has committed suicide, but then the camera shows him walking away, playing his banjo. I realized what he did was eliminate death as the focus of his life. He could grieve over his loss, but now he was truly alive and not denying his mortality. Woody Allen writes about two guys talking, one of whom is in great despair about life. His friend asks him, "What are you doing Saturday night?" "Committing suicide." "What about Friday night?" It may seem strange to talk about how to handle loss and the death of loved ones by saying that death, for me, is not the worst outcome. There is a point in everyone's life, no matter one's species, when one's body no longer will function, and it is not a comfortable place to be in. I see this in the actions of people and pets I have loved and cared for. Symbolically, when people draw purple balloons, butterflies, and kites going up into the sky, they are telling me, often unconsciously, that they are ready for the healing that comes when they make the spiritual transition and leave their bodies. Death is about beginnings and not endings. We do not call graduations terminations. We call them commencements. And so it is with death. Every caterpillar and butterfly understands what the transformation means better than most people. Soroyan shares these words at the end of a story in which a young man dies. He becomes dreamless, unalive, perfect. And I know that he is right. As a 4-year-old, I had a near-death experience, choking on a toy I aspirated, and I can tell you when you leave your body you will most likely not want to come back. Even blind people see when they have an NDE, and are upset when resuscitated and find themselves back in their body and blind again. Harry Chapin's song, Circle, shares these words. "It seems like I've been here before, I can't remember when. But I have this funny feeling that we'll all be together again. Our love is like a circle. Let's go round one more time." Yes, when the circle ends, be it expected or due to a tragic accident, we should be free to grieve the loss of our loved ones and take the time to shed tears. To live in the darkness while denying our feelings and hiding our tears is not what we are here for. Crying is not a waste of time. It is a time for healing to take place.